Hello, I'm Eli Cohen, the CEO and co-founder of Saleshood. I am here with my good friend, Mark Siciliano from Demandbase, VP, Sales Productivity. Tell us about yourself.
Nice to be here, Eli. Thank you. I've obviously we've known each other for a few years. I am a CPA, but have made my way through Oracle for the past 16 years.
Yeah.
As an SC actually, and migrated through the sales roles within the company, and had an inkling to get into enablement, and created with another 3 or 4 people the Oracle Sales Academy, and did that for a couple years.
When was that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm going to date you.
That is 2011.
Wow, okay.
And then migrated to a marketing automation company to lead their global enablement at Marketo. And just recently, after Marketo was purchased by a private equity firm, got the opportunity to work at Demandbase. So I am responsible for sales, customer success, sales consulting, and really productivity, working hand in hand with my CRO.
It's amazing. Congratulations on a great career run, and just at the beginning still.
Oh, absolutely. I'm having such a good time.
You know, enablement, everyone's talking about enablement. I'm going to put you on the spot. What does enablement mean to you?
You know, I've read your book, so it's not fair. So I probably have a lot of what you've already shared with people. But at the end of the day, it's almost like what Demandbase is all about. Demandbase is an account-based marketing company, right? And it's finding the right accounts at the right time. With enablement, it's enabling people with the right information at the right time and to leverage it in real time. And obviously, our relationship stems from that ability to get that with what you produce. And with my pushing it out to my sales force, we've really seen some successes. So enablement in and of itself is ensuring that our sales roles within the company have the right tools to be successful. It's not enough to just have tools. They need to be productive in real time.
Oh, that's great. And let's talk a little bit about, so you've been at Demandbase now for 5 months. So we're gonna
Yes, I'm a short timer.
And you know, there are a lot of enablement leaders out there that you know, are new in their roles as well.
Right.
So what advice would you give someone who is new in their enablement position?
You know, I did something uniquely different at Demandbase when I was asked to interview. I asked to speak to their top reps, and I felt pretty comfortable with the request, and I got to speak to 4 or 5 of them. And by having that conversation, asking them what they do, why they're successful in what they do, and what's the process in which they do it, I found that I had a lot of the elements to be successful just by listening to their best reps.
Amazing.
And so in my first week, I had a plan that said, this is the recipe to win here. Now I hope to implement that across the entire organization over the next 12 months. And hopefully I can come back here and tell you how successful that was.
Right. So let's talk about, you know, what have you done in your first 5 months? I think it's by the way, it's amazing, and I think that's really good advice for anyone who is new to enablement. You know, we can sit there in our ivory towers and create plans and create content and create training and tools, and which is, we got to do that, but you know, we got to get in the field. Right. We got to talk to our people. We got to ask them what's important to them, and so kudos. That's just, you know, that because you're professional.
Well, you know, you and I have always thought that this idea of having a mutual success plan was critical for salespeople.
Yeah.
But for enablement, my customer is my sales team. And so I have to create a mutual success plan with them, with the sales rep management, with the SC management, with the CSM management, so that it's our plan. Yeah. It's not Mark's enablement plan. It's Demandbase's enablement plan.
So it's a shared plan with your stakeholders.
Absolutely.
With your and how did you? So you created a plan.
We created a plan with a lot of. I call it a governance board, where I have 4 or 5 different folks from different sales leadership positions, and it's tied to comp, quite frankly. And literally, we kind of determine what's best for us and what are the top 5 or 6 priorities.
Yeah.
And then I'm responsible to run it with my team. And so we've actually created, obviously, learning plans, but with milestones that are tangible and repeatable. And so we established that onboarding kind of philosophy, and everyone who's listening to this knows about that. But now we've taken it a step further. We've created reinforcement, role-based reinforcement that my CEO, Chris Golick, just loves. And thanks to Saleshood, that's been of extreme value for us because it's simple and we're able to do it very quickly.
Yeah.
So excited.
Can you give us an example of, so I'm envisioning this success plan.
Right.
And I'm envisioning a priority, a problem, an initiative. And so maybe give us an example of a problem you were trying to solve and what was the governance and what did it actually look like? What were what's an example of a program?
Interesting. Demand-based just rolled out a brand new platform.
Yeah.
And in ABM, that's a unique
account-based marketing
value proposition. We're probably the only ABM platform. And so this was new to our salespeople. And so we had to establish what is that pitch? What is that message that you're going to share with the customers? So we created what that was, and we created a best practice version of that. And we did a 3-part series to it. So they saw one of our great reps deliver it.
Great.
We shared the value of it in deck form, so they had it at their disposal. And then we asked them to repeat it. And then we took the best of the best, and we highlighted them on our revenue calls that we have every month.
Yeah.
And the best one, we gave a little bit of special. And people recognized that the CEO actually buys into that. And now people are waiting for us to do the next big thing, whether it's, how do you handle this objection, or how are you going to do an upfront contract, or name your old Sandler methodology, right? But all of these things are just the beginning of having a tool that gets us there.
There's so much goodness in that. We should unpack it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Let's. So what was some of the feedback? You rolled out this new ABM platform. Folks had to record their pitches, give each other feedback. Managers had to do it. What was some of the feedback you heard?
Well, initially, all the reps said, "What do you want me to do? I have this, I have this number I have to hit."
I got it. Yeah.
And I said, "Listen, give it one shot. Just give it one shot, and if it's not convenient for you, I won't ask you to do it again." But I knew how easy it was in the mobile capacity. And so everyone I asked, just to learn the tool, tell us about your goals for this year. And I stole that from one of the onboarding things that I saw in your Saleshood app. And they all did it and realized it wasn't a hassle. It allowed them to go back if they needed to have some reinforcement. And they bought in because it helped them get better. Sounds cheesy, but when you can show value to your reps, what you're providing them makes them better, you're more likely to get them to tie in the next time you have something that goes around, right? So
totally.
I hope that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Right. So,
at first they were a little, apprehensive, skeptical. And then you made it easy. Kind of made it on their mobile and.
Well, we had other options, Eli. You have to understand. I came in, there was an LMS in house, and they were using another option, and I disregarded both of them to bring you in.
There you go. Well, we're grateful.
And it wasn't because we're our friends, which we are.
Yes.
It was because there was a convenience, there was transparency, and I'm a crowdsource guy, and you're a proponent of that, so that's why we did it.
No, that's great. And I know it's only been a few months, and sometimes you got to live through a couple cycles to see some of the metrics.
Right.
What have you seen so far?
Well, right now, pipe is up. We don't know how quickly our close rates have improved.
Still early.
But it's early. And I was more interested in building our pipe because, as you know, 4 or 5 to 1, we're trying to build that. And as a company at our level, being not a public company yet, we're a wannabe. And first comes quality opportunities. And that's what we're seeing, the quality opportunity. Now our next step, and we've talked in the past about this, is having our managers involved earlier in the sales process to coach them in or out of that opportunity.
Yeah, so more deal-based coaching.
Sooner.
Getting the managers, and that's great. How are you going to do that?
Well, I have an opportunity management initiative that we're rolling out a coaching learning path to all of our managers that they'll have to jump through some hoops.
It's great.
We're going to see if they answer the right questions based on what stage an opportunity is in, and whether or not they're actually asking the right questions.
And talk to us about the executive support you have to make this happen.
I report to the CRO, and the CEO and CRO pushed to have us take on Saleshood as the tool of choice after I showed them the simplification of enablement.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about the old LMS platforms that you see out there. This was simple. And sales is tough enough. And Chris Golick, Don White, all of the executive staff bought in. And
it's such an important part of your success and ultimately the governance contract that you got set up with the team.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say it was the right time. It wasn't me. It was serendipity. I had the right tool. Yeah. I had come into this company that's just moving from a 280, member company, moving up the chain a little bit, getting into 7. It's just an interesting time. So it's been perfect that we've had your tool.
Well, we applaud your vision. Now, from Oracle to Marketo to demand-based.
Getting smaller as I go.
But bigger impact.
Oh, of course.
And kind of higher up on the chain, which is really important, I think, for enablement. To see a leader like you have that role is incredible. Right. And you didn't just get there overnight. It took hard work. And so congrats to that. And so there's so many people now in the industry that want to get into enablement. There's so many, new young minds, some marketers that want to get into enablement, some sales managers that want to get into enablement. We're seeing the rise of enablement professionals, and it's amazing. Right. So with your years of experience, what advice would you give someone who wants to get into enablement? What would you think of some guiding principles that might be good for them to internalize?
I'm an old accountant. I was a CPA years ago, worked for Pricewaterhouse on 18th and K, and I have this operational nature. And so having sales characteristics, but operationalizing the sales function is really what I think makes a successful sales enablement person.
Yeah.
I was an SC. I touched that role. I carried a bag. I touched that role. I've been in sales ops. Enablement combines the best of you're the linchpin between sales and marketing, but also operations.
Yeah.
And you can speak the language of all three. That's unique because that's not normally the case. And so if I gave anyone one piece of advice, it's recognizing that you need to operationalize the sales process because that's where you'll get your gains.
Got it.
No subjective.
That's gold, right? Operationalize the sales process.
Right.
And what does that mean? It means we're going to build the training, the content, the coaching,
right?
And we're going to write it down, right? And get alignment around.
Right. Well, and you're going to hold people accountable.
Yeah.
We're afraid to hold people accountable. And with executive support that says, I'm managing my business based on this. And if the executives are holding themselves accountable, that trickles down.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that with my company. I just need to tell you, I have a great team of people and they focus on specific roles in my organization. Yes. So if I have someone that's totally focused on SDRs, so Bissy handles, the SDRs, or if I need somebody just on my CSMs, I have Sarah jumping on SMs, and that collaborative network. It's not me. We do it collaboratively.
Right.
I mean, it's
across the entire organization. You've got your team, and you've got subject matter experts that are contributing. It's truly is a team sport.
Well, if you think about it, I'm working with product.
Yes.
I'm working with product marketing. I bring in IT. I have the sales organization, and I'm in control of ops. You can get a lot done. What do I do in my email? It's amazing what you can get done when no one cares who gets the credit.
I love it.
And that's how I work at Demand-Based.
There you go.
Yeah.
These are amazing words of wisdom from a very experienced, seasoned, successful professional. We're super grateful to have you here. Wow. And if someone wants to reach out to you, connect with you on LinkedIn, what advice would you give them on connecting with you?
Well, there's not many Sicilianos out there, so
Find you on
just
LinkedIn.
find me on LinkedIn. My name is easy. You can Twitter me
Yep.
at mksiciliano61.
Let us know what you think of the talk.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.